And I think we're live. I'd actually not planned on going live today, but I got a question. Let me just make sure everything is turned off. And I apologize. I am outside today, and there might be some really noisy neighbors, so I apologize in advance for anything you might hear, because we never know what's going to be said. There's also a couple of people out here with their motorcycles going back and forth, having some fun. But I got a question from a friend of mine, and it simply was, what is the easiest herb to grow? What can I start with? And instantly basil came to mind. And that is why I'm sitting out here right now, because I wanted to share with you one of the basil plants that I have. And it doesn't really look like a whole lot right now, because I've actually harvested quite a bit of it to make some pesto. But I do have another basil plant just below, and I've actually given away quite a bit. It is the easiest herb to grow, and if you don't have basil right now, it's probably the one that you should start with. If you're looking to start an herb garden, by far basil is the easiest one to grow. And the thing is, you can also grow multiple, allow one to go to seed, so you can collect the seeds and then just continue to plant those in the future. I'm going to flip the camera around so I can show you the basil plant that I'm referring to, and there are also a couple vegetables that are close by that I share with you that I also grow, and these are grown in containers. We live in an apartment right now, so everything that I have is currently being grown in containers. So you'll be able to see just a variety of things that you can grow, even if you live in an apartment, or if you don't have the space to grow things in the ground, you can certainly start growing some things in pots. Alright, so I'm going to flip the camera around and share with you the basil plant I'm referring to. I'm also going to give you a few benefits of the actual herb as opposed to the essential oil, because I mentioned the essential oil quite a few times in previous lives. So I wanted to share with you the actual herb today because of the question that I got from my friend, and as to which particular herb to start with. And basil, like I said, is so easy to grow. To me, once you have it, you don't ever need to plant basil again, because if you let it go to seed, then it simply just drops the seeds and it starts new plants. But it is what I consider to be a shrub. It's very, very hardy, so it's going to be very hard to kill. So let me go ahead and I flip the camera around and share with you. Alright, so here is a part of the basil plant I'm referring to. And this one is actually quite big. And I've harvested quite a bit from it, which you can see that, right now it's getting some new growth on there because of all of the harvesting that I've done. But let me show you what I mean by it going to seed. Right, what you're looking at right here is the beginning of the flower. But what I do when it gets to this point is I pinch off the flower. And I'm going to do that right now because I don't want this one to go to seed. So what I do is I pinch it off. And I wish you could smell this. It is so aromatic, and I'm sure that you're probably familiar with basil because it's used in a lot of Italian recipes. And what I do is I just simply take this and I'll drop it into the pot. I don't throw it away, I just simply drop it into the soil here. It won't grow because, they're still green. But I don't want this to go to seed, so I simply pinch it off. And whenever these leaves get a little bit bigger, I'll come out here and I'll harvest some more. Because like I said, I've harvested quite a bunch and I've made some pesto. And it's fresh pesto compared to the one that you buy in the store is like day and night. It is so aromatic. If you grow basil, let me know. But this, I'm simply sharing this video today because I did get that question about what would be a great starter herb if you wanted to start an herb garden. And basil is definitely one of the easiest herbs to grow. You can see I also have a few others. I've got some tomatoes down here. I've got some sweet peppers there. But basil, if you want to start, basil is definitely the one to go with. Now, there are different varieties of basil. There's sweet basil, there's lemon basil, there's one called holy basil, or also called tulsi. And the smell and the flavor, they vary depending on the concentration of the type of oil that is present in the herb. There's cinnamate, citronellol, geraniol, linalool, pinene, terpineol. Those are just some of the oils that you'll find present in the basil leaves. I'm trying to keep it focused here. But like I said, this one is pretty big, and I have harvested quite a bit from this particular plant, and it's now beginning to give out. You can see some new shoots right there that are coming out, and this is quite a sturdy plant. It is, to me, a shrub, so it's going to be very, very easy to maintain, really not a lot of work. Can be grown in the ground, can also be grown in the pot like you see here. So if you don't have the space to grow a lot of herbs, just simply get yourself a couple pots and a few seeds. I mean, a packet of the basil seeds are probably going to be about $1.99 for the organic ones. So just grab a packet, and you'll probably be able to grow at least maybe 25-50 plants from one packet, because it does come with a lot of the seeds in there. What I'm going to do now is just share with you a couple of the benefits. I'm sorry, that was kind of loud. Just a couple benefits of basil. If you're not using basil already, here's some great reasons to start. It is absolutely great for digestion. And you know, a lot of the videos that I've talked about gut health and why your gut is so important to overall health. So basil is one of those herbs that is absolutely great for digestion. It helps to balance the acid in your body and to restore the pH balance to your body as well. So you want to make sure that your body, and with this is a green herb, so you know greens are really good for the body. So this is definitely one that I wish you could smell this. I know I'm playing with it, and my fingers are filled with the oil right now, and it's just so aromatic. But basil does help to restore the pH balance to your body, so it's one that you should incorporate. It also helps to feed the healthy bacteria in your gut. That's one of the reasons why it's really good for gut health. Helps with bloating, helps with water retention. So if you experience any of those concerns, this is one that you may want to incorporate in your daily diet. Basil is also very anti-inflammatory. It helps with fevers, it helps with headaches, sore throats, cold, flu, cough. Has a lot of various benefits. It's antimicrobial, so it's great for also great for the skin. If you have oily skin, this is a great herb to be using. If you have acne breakouts, just take a couple of the leaves, crumble them into a paste, and apply it to the acne spots that you may have, and that will also help with the inflammation from the acne. Basil, like I said, the aromatics from it helps with anxiety, helps with depression. It's what's considered an adaptogenic herb, which is why it kind of helps to balance the pH in your body as well. If you're a diabetic, this is one of the herbs that you definitely want to be using, because it helps to reduce how much sugar is actually released into your body. Cinnamon is another one that you'd also want to incorporate, but basil is great for that as well. Basil also helps to helps to support your liver function. You know, the liver is responsible for metabolism, a lot of the metabolic activity that occurs in your body. So basil is a great herb for helping to support the liver. Hi, Wendy. Basil is a great herb for detox, since it supports the liver as well, and it helps to prevent fatty buildup in the liver as well. So you've heard all the great benefits about basil, and like I said, to me this is by far the easiest herb to grow. So if you're looking to start an herb garden, this is the first one that I would recommend that you grow. And the seeds you can get, like I said, you can get a packet of seeds for maybe $2. The organic ones are going to be a little bit more expensive, but I would definitely go organic. Start out with best. Hi Glennis. Definitely start out with, you know, with the best. So go organic, spend a couple extra. You're spending $2 for herbs that are probably, let me go ahead and switch the camera back around so I'm not talking to the, but this is basil. Definitely start with that. Let me switch the camera back around so you can actually see me now. All right, so definitely start off with basil. It's easy, and it will last you forever. I have actually, I think the basil plant that I grew I think I started growing it about 7 years ago, was still growing when I left the house. I've been away from that home about 2 years. So it's definitely a very, very sturdy one, and a good one to have in your herb garden. I can show you a few other things that I have growing in pots, but that was in response to a question that I got from a friend who said, she's ready to start growing an herb garden. What is the first thing that or an easy one that she could start out with? And basil was the first thing that came to my mind. So if you don't have basil in your garden, it's one that you should have, but it's also going to be one that you probably won't even plant after you planted the first one, because you can always get the seeds from it and continue to grow later on as well. Hi Glennis, I see you there. I hope everyone is having a really good Sunday. Hi Morris, thank you guys for watching, spending a couple minutes with me on this Sunday. Today was actually our first day back to our brick and mortar church, because with the lockdown and everything, but it was really nice just to get in there with our church family. It really was. I'm hoping you guys are having a really good Sunday as well. Morris, I know you're a chef. I was actually talking about basil, and if you have any recipes that you want to share with us, please feel free to post them below this video. I know you just popped in, but a friend of mine asked me what was the one herb that I would recommend to start an herb garden with, because she was just starting out. So the first thing that came to my mind was basil. So if you have any recipes that you'd like to share, or any ways that you might use basil, we'd love to hear them. Just simply pop them in the comment section, whenever you get a chance to. One of the ways I love to use basil is to make pesto, and I mentioned that earlier. I've made a lot of pesto, and I'm going to give my basil plants a little bit of time to recover before I harvest from them again. But it's a plant that just keeps on giving. So definitely grow basil. That's the one I would recommend. I'm not going to make this too long today because I wasn't even planning on coming live, but I thought I'd just go ahead and do a quick video on this. But let me share with you a couple other plants that I am growing in pots. Let me switch around again. Okay, we have some sweet peppers here, and these are not going to get huge like they would if they were in the ground, but you can see that there are a couple that are getting ready to grow there. But I do have a few others over here, you can see, and these are all in pots. I do have a nice extensive container garden along the stairwell here. I've got a couple tomatoes that are going to be ready to pick soon. Right here, what you're looking at here, this is lettuce, but I've allowed it to grow to seed. So I'm going to be collecting the seeds as soon as they're ready so I can plant some more. But I've got, let me go down a little bit more. I've got some sage that I started from seed just a few weeks ago. Very, very easy to grow. This is not necessarily one that I cook with, but this is patchouli. You've heard me talk a lot about patchouli essential oil. This is the actual plant. This is a leek that we cut, but then since it had some roots on there, I just stuck it into a pot, and then I allowed it to grow a little bit more. So there's quite a few different herbs that I've got growing here as well. This is eggplant, and as it gets a little bigger, I will have to take it out of this pot and put into a slightly bigger pot. Trying to get it to focus. But yes, I do grow quite a few different things in pots. So, well, I'm planning to start my little garden soon. Yes, summer is practically here. So I know that there are a lot of people that I've seen who, you know, because of the whole quarantine thing, they decided that they would start a little herb garden or kind of, you know, get into the practice of doing so. And I can tell you that growing your own food, it's so much better than, you know, the grocery store stuff. You know what goes into your soil, right? You know what goes into your food. So if you can grow your own vegetables, grow your own herbs, then do so. It's going to be so much better for your health. And for those things that you can't grow, you just simply buy as organic as often as you possibly can, because I do know that organic is more expensive, but it is so much better to put the investment into buying great food than to put the money into paying doctors when you get sick in the future. Food, like I've, you know, said over and over in all of the videos that I've done, food to me is your medicine. And that's what you should be putting into your body. Put proper food into your body and build your immune system using the diet. So much better for you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop here because I'm actually also in the middle of cooking. But I do hope that everybody enjoys their Sunday. Glennis, it was so good to see you. So glad you came, and I'll most likely just pop on the phone and give you a call in a little while. I know I was calling for Kayla recently. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but I'll give you a call shortly, or you can just call me. All right, but it was good to see all of you. I know my oldest sister, she was on earlier as well. Thank you guys for spending just a few minutes with me on this blessed Sunday. All right, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, sis. Love you.